So last year you may have seen me sliding around on the old Ambition Jib Series plastic Snowskate, but this year I decided to upgrade to the wood one. Was it worth it? Welcome back to Rad Rat Video, a channel all about skateboarding except for the times that it's about snow skating. And you may remember seeing me on this guy last year. Sorry about how dirty it is. This is the Jib Series Snow Skate from Ambition. This is a 2023 board, and I used this all of last year. And you can tell, it really shows. This thing is shredded beyond belief. Hope you can see that on camera. I can't see the camera without my glasses, but like it gets destroyed. So not very durable, and right now not very fast. I dropped in on it with the setup with my new one, and I can get to it just fine. I got too much speed on the new one. This one I came to a dead stop. So I had to upgrade it, or at least replace it. So I decided to get the wood one. So I ended up getting the 2023 Team Red board. I went with the 2023 instead of the 2024 because it was a bit cheaper, and I am very broke right now. In fact, I probably should not have bought this. But the one big mistake that I made that I couldn't tell at the time is that this board is flat. There is no concave at all. The team boards do have concave though. So if I had spent a little bit more, I could have had the concave, and I think that probably would have made a big difference. But before we get too much into testing it, I want to tell you the three things that I bought this for, the three tests that I really needed this to pass. First, can I do a tail press? It cannot be done on the plastic board. When you go up the ramp, the board just bends over it. I cannot, no matter how much weight is on the tail, the board just bends over. So it needs to be a bit more stiff. Can I do a tail press on that? Second, can I ollie it? Yes, I can ollie and kickflip and everything on the plastic board, but I can't do it while moving. It's only stationary. I can't do a grind and ollie out of it. It just, I mean, someone might be able to do it. I cannot do it. Can I do it on here? Hope so. Third, I want to know whether this will hold up to the box, like doing slides. Is the plastic a higher quality? Is this going to get shredded and have to be thrown away too, like that one? We will find out. First, you may have noticed these weird studs. They come on a sheet. I will show you how that goes. So this is how they come out of the package. You get these two sheets. They're pretty pointy on the top, but they're soft. So you can push down on it. It doesn't hurt or anything. So you can definitely see how this will give you grip. They also give you this guide that shows you where to put them all. So of course, then your board's only going to go this way. So I guess you put the ones on the edge at an angle so they'll catch your foot for kickflips and things like that. So you cut them out, and then you just stick them. You peel off the backing and stick them. So I'm going to give that a try right now. So here is the mess, and here is the design that I came up with. It's not exactly what they show you because they use 3 less studs than they give you. So I ended up with a 3 at the end when I was expecting a 2, so I put that in the kickflip spot. And I spaced them out a little bit more in the middle and then tightened them up a bit on the end because I figure, you know, flick spots where you're really going to want that grip. But, you know, if you get your own, maybe look at someone's actual picture instead of trusting this because this isn't quite accurate. But let's get outside. So we will cut to some snow footage in a minute. I don't really have the weather for that at the moment, but my first test is going to be to compare some flat ground flip tricks on both boards. I have been storing my plastic one outside. They suggest storing it cold so it'll be as stiff as possible. I got the stiffest jib this side of the Mississippi, so let's do some tricks.
So right off the bat, the jib series, way easier to flip. Got way more pop. Was able to pull it up in the air, no problem. And the team wood board, I had a difficult time. I'm not going to show you all of my attempts at trying that kickflip, but it took a while. It kept, it would grab my foot and go flying. I think that's because of all the studs on there. And it will probably be different when it's covered in snow. So, the fact is, just because I can flip the jib series easier on flat in grass, that doesn't mean all that much because I can't do it out of anything. I can't do a tail slide kickflip. It cannot be done on that one. So if something like that can be done on the team one, then that, it might be better. So far it's not looking that way.
So I would say the studs are a bit of a two-edged sword here because although I can keep the grip, it also collects snow and it's a lot harder to clean it off. So probably overall a positive thing, although I haven't been trying to pop and do flip tricks and stuff yet. But as of right now, it's a little annoying having the studs on it, but I'm gonna see if I can get that tail press. And just like that, the wood has doubled the amount of tricks I can do on this thing. Can never do anything on the tail. I could still do stuff on the nose. But anyway, now blunts, front blunts, tail presses, all that kind of stuff should be good to go. Whether I can do them or not is my problem, not the board's. I want to see if I can actually ollie on it. Maybe just a 50-50, if you want to call it that. See if I can pop out. I don't know, let's try it. Kickflips are harder than I expected. I am not getting a lot of grip, but sometimes I am when the board flips really well. Problem is, the foot position I need to actually get the board to flip, there's no way I could drop in like that. So if I'm gonna actually ride up and do a legit ride on, kickflip off, I would have to be able to adjust my feet once I get on the box, and I'm only on it for a second. I'm gonna keep trying this because I would love to land a kickflip. This is what my spot used to be like as a kid when I had a Snowskate, like back in high school. I would just drop in and do a flip down like a foot drop. So like it's still fun, but I'm a long ways from being able to actually like do a grind and then flip out. But for my first day in the snow on this thing, I will be happy if I could do a kickflip. Not my best work. Pretty sure that bounced off the ground, but I landed it. I did a kickflip. I was having a lot of trouble with it spinning every time. And I was thinking, do I try to flick more like a hard flip or a frontside flip, or do I lean into it and spin it on purpose? I'm not sure. I managed to get the kickflip. Probably not gonna get much more done today, but I'm gonna try a tray flip. Okay, I didn't expect to actually land it, but I expected it to get a little bit of flip. Every time the board flipped, it was a bounce. It wasn't an actual flip. So I gotta learn how to flip this thing more. With all those studs, I kind of thought I would just kind of flip and it would work. I didn't expect to have to like figure out how to keep grip even with that. But that said, I just jumped into some stuff. I didn't really do the basics. So let me do some board slides and stuff too. Not that impressive of a trick, but surprisingly hard. If you've never snow skated, I'm sure it's the same on a snowboard, although you can at least use an edge to get some spin going. But if you're not thinking about going to fakie as you drop in, you're not going to, because you have to get that spin going. You have to be able to pull it around the rest of the way, and you can't just generate that. You have to actually be pulling it around the whole time. So a couple of those times I was about to hit the ramp to get up to the box, and the board started to slide out. Not trying to slide yet. So you have to spin as much as possible with the board staying straight, and then pull into the slide, and then whip it way out ahead of you to go to fakie. Again, not all that hard. I did them on my plastic one a ton of times. It's not the biggest thing, but it's way harder than you might think coming from skateboarding only. But I'm gonna call it for the day, not for this whole video, but just for the day. I shoveled for like 45 minutes before I started, so I started tired, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to shred some fresh snow. But I'll be back with you in a second.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be
Day 2. I brought a broom with me this time. I think that might help keep the board clean. Brought some wax, and I'm gonna see if I can push the limits a little bit. Kind of a bad start. Actually the worst start I've ever had. I think I need a little more loose snow on the top. It's so packed down and it's kind of rounded off. You drop in, the board just goes where it wants to go. I need a little bit more meat on there that I can dig into and actually turn a little bit, but it's not going great. You're not gonna believe this, but every attempt I'm trying to be dead center on the box, and I just cannot get there. No matter the angle I drop in, I try to turn on the flat, I'm always hugging the left side of the coping from your angle. And you can tell from the top that the box isn't exactly straight. Not sure how well you can see it, but the box is tilted a little bit that way. And that's not helping, but like I'm starting right here. I'm starting hanging off. I'm not sure how to tweak things so that I can actually be on the box here. Starting to get really frustrated. It's been 17 minutes. I'm only going to show you a little bit of it, obviously, but attempt after attempt after attempt, I'm just flying off of the side of the box. You can see the tracks that I left here, like I'm running off of the ramp and everything, and I can still maybe, at best, be in the middle. I don't know it changed so much from 18 hours ago when I was doing this last time, but I'm having a hell of a time just being on the box. And that's got to be consistent before I can do a trick. And I ended up having to stop doing this. It may not look like much, but that board slammed directly into my ankle, so I slowed it down a little bit.
I'm pissed off. I can't get this thing to do anything in a way that is driving me crazy. Like, I stopped trying to do the tail press to shove it, because even though I am off the box when I first show up, I slide over and I hit this coping a good 90% of the time. I even am dropping in dead center. I have both feet on, so I'm not like stepping onto it and starting to slide forward. Both feet on, and I drop into it, and I still slam against that coping. I don't know what went wrong. I think I gotta maybe put something underneath that side of the box to tip it slightly. I don't know if that's gonna fix the problem, but it's killing me. My goal today, honestly, was to do a tail press kickflip. That was the hope. Tail press shove was just, okay, at least I'll get something. But the board slides really, really well in such a way where when you think about doing a shove, you shoot out. It's very difficult to get the board to slide and not immediately slam. So I was just trying to do it as a drop-in, and it still took that long to get one. So I'm pretty disappointed in that so far. But the problem is that the board is sliding really, really well, you know? So it's not the worst thing, and my setup just isn't perfectly flat, which just didn't matter last year. It's weird that it does this year. So though, there's one more thing that I would like to try, and this is what the pro snow skaters do. They can jump on their board on flat and ollie. They can ollie up onto a handrail and grind it. They can do flip tricks downstairs. They can do all kinds of stuff. So my plan is to use this flat part of my box. Can I run and jump on the board and do a trick? I'm not going to tell you which trick, because it may be a battle of the century to do an ollie. I'm not sure. But if I can do that, that at least shows that the board is capable of doing it. So that's my next plan.
Those kickflips were really frustrating. It's hard to even explain what happens with them, because sometimes you pop and the board just stays there. Sometimes you flick and your shoe just kind of slips off and it doesn't grab the board. And then at best you can flip it, but it always spins backside. And I'm trying to like open up my shoulders, not do a frontside flip, but like give it a little bit of a hint of a frontside flip to keep the board straight. And it just won't do it. And I think it's because it starts to flip when the tail is still touching. You know, with a normal skateboard, you pop the tail and then you kickflip. With this board, you don't really get that kind of pop. I think that was the problem. I'm not quite sure. But the questions that I asked in the beginning, the 3 reasons why I bought the board. Can I do a tail press? Yes. Now I did immediately slam every time I tried to do a shove it out, and I couldn't even dream of doing a kickflip out, at least for now. I think it's possible. Second, can I pop it? Yeah, I was able to do a kickflip. It wasn't the best one you've ever seen, but I was able to do it, and I did one off of the box too. Like, it is possible to do them. It's going to take some practice, and I'm going to have to learn some new techniques, but you can kickflip on it just fine. And third, is it more durable? Well, you can see for yourself. So there are some scratches, like there definitely, you can tell where I was doing slides, and I did a ton of slides. You didn't see most of them because for the most part I wasn't trying to. I was trying to get into a tail press, or I was going to go for a nose blunt or something like that, but I kept being at the wrong angle, and and so I did a million board slides, and you can see some mild scratches in it, but they didn't leave behind plastic. With the plastic one, I would do a slide, I would land and look down, and there would be like a coil of plastic like that where it just ripped it right out. This one seems to just take some like it just dents it. So it is definitely more, the plastic is better. So it is a worthy upgrade over the plastic one for sure. Although I very much regret that I do not have the concave one. So, the session I had today really sucked. I had such a hard time just getting into the most basic stuff. And I think that was just the snow, like if it froze, if it melted and refroze and things were at weird angles or something. I can't tell exactly why that happened. It's hard to imagine that it's the board's fault. It's hard to imagine that I could have the problem with just the good board and not with the bad board. So I'm gonna set that aside for now. I'm gonna ride it plenty more, but I do think the wood is the upgrade for sure. I would definitely get this. The spikes do help quite a bit too. It's annoying having to like brush it out constantly, but you can just jump on the board like that. That's flat ground kickflip. Well, the kickflip off of the curb. There's no way I could do it without the studs, because I just took a couple of steps and jumped on it, and my front foot in the kickflip spot, and it would just ride. It was no problem, and I could find the tail, and I could try it very consistently with these spikes. So I believe this is probably the best thing you can get, aside for the concave ones. But that just doesn't make it easy. There is a lot of you have to adapt your skateboarding tricks quite a bit to get snow skating tricks. They seem like they would be pretty much identical, but they're not. So that is it for now. Hopefully you will see some more snow skating. Check out my Instagram. I'm much more likely to post some snow skating tricks there. But yeah, that's it. I will see you next time, and thanks for hanging out.